Hello, welcome to Sky Bite Size with me, Dan Cox. Back again, just thought I'd look ahead at the fixtures for game week 22, 23, and 24. Basically, everything taking us up to the overhaul now. Just getting us through till that point now. So, just going to have a look at the fixtures, then have a look at the transfers in and out over the last 7 days, the ownership, your questions, and anything else that comes up. New signings, have a look at some of them and whether they're viable picks. And that's it. Right. Let's get into it. Actually, before we do that, and I always forget, once again, thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it, and thanks for all your questions I've had on Twitter. And if you could do me a favour, please, if you are watching on YouTube, hit like, subscribe. If you're on Spotify or Apple, you can do like a review, click, 5 stars or, anything like that. All be appreciated. I've had about 6 reviews on iTunes, so if you could give us a 5 stars and write something on there, that'd be great. So thanks. Right, let's have a look at the fixtures. So these games got put in, I think, a few days ago. I can't remember when it was now, but these are the game week 22 fixtures. So you can see only 3 games there. Tuesday the 11th, Southampton versus Brentford, and then Everton versus Leicester, and then on the Wednesday, West Ham versus Norwich. I think most people will have a West Ham player for the Wednesday. They'll either have Bowen already or Antonio. If not, I probably would consider bringing one of them in. The 11th, again, I don't think too many people have anyone for this. So you might want to be looking at doing something like that. Especially, Leicester have got 4 games now till the overhaul. So if you can bring someone in there and it gives you a captaincy, do you know what I mean? That will be beneficial. We'll look at some options and we'll look at the fixture grid in a little while to see what makes sense. So like I said, I'll just want to look at everything going up to the overhaul really, because I didn't want to just do something just talking about 3 fixtures. So I'll get the next set up here. So then Friday the 14th, Brighton versus Palace. Saturday, Man City, Chelsea, Wolves, Southampton, Norwich, Everton, Newcastle v Watford, Burnley v Leicester, and Villa v Man U. Most people, I would guess, have Gallagher. He's still pretty well owned. He was transferred out of a lot of teams, but because of the COVID. But I sort of was hoping and thought he'd be back for that Brighton game, so I'd keep him just for a captaincy for that game. Even if he gets me 4 points, it's still 4 points, So that's him. Saturday the 15th, tricky-ish day, I suppose. Man City, you get to see the lineup. So if you want a Cancelo, Diaz, someone like that. Still not sure on Chelsea. Manchester United away to Villa. If you've got Ronaldo, you know what I mean. He should start, shouldn't he? But always keep an eye out for news and stuff like that. But you don't get to see the lineup, so if you do go Ronaldo, it is slightly risky. If you made the move to Calvert-Lewin, Everton face Norwich, could be another option. Dennis, if he's still about against Newcastle, although they just signed Trippier and they need to start getting some wins, so I don't know. But I think Man City defender would probably be safest for the Saturday, the 15th. Sunday the 16th, West Ham versus Leeds, first game, same as Liverpool Brentford, so you get to see the lineups. And then Spurs v Arsenal again, tricky day really. If you've got Antonio, Bowen, they'll do. Rafinha, if you're still holding on to him, might be an option. Liverpool, if you've got Trent or Van Dijk, I think they'll do. Jota has been brought into quite a lot of teams, so he could be an option. And Spurs v Arsenal, if you've got Kane or Son, one of them. But I'll probably be on Bowen myself, Bowen or Antonio. Then Tuesday the 18th, Burnley versus Watford, Brighton versus Chelsea. I think most people are still holding on to a Chelsea player, Rudiger. He's quite well owned, so probably be him. If you've got Dennis and he's starting, could be an option away to Burnley. Wednesday, Leicester versus Spurs, and then Brentford versus Man U. Get to see both lineups, so Ronaldo, like I said, he's quite well owned, so he could be an option. Kane again, or if you go for a Leicester player, maybe him. And then the last one's there. So then Friday the 21st, Watford against Norwich. Again, if you've got Dennis, could be an option. King, people are talking about. I think they'd probably be the only 2 really for me from Watford. Saturday the 22nd, Everton against Villa, Manchester United against West Ham, Leeds versus Newcastle, Brentford versus Wolves, and then Southampton v Man City. Obviously don't get to see the City lineup, so that's a bit of a shame. Um, Again, Ronaldo, Man City defender. If you've got Calvert-Lewin, I think that's that for that Saturday. And then the Sunday, last day before the overhaul opens up, Leicester versus Brighton, first game. Same as Palace Liverpool, get to see the lineup. So again, Trent, Van Dijk, your Leicester player. And then you got Arsenal versus Burnley and Chelsea versus Spurs. I can't see many people picking a captain from there. I think it probably will be a Liverpool or Leicester. And that's all the fixtures. I'll just get the FF Stuff grid. If you haven't been to FF Stuff, you really need to check it out. It's great. So these are all the fixtures now till the overhaul. I don't think any more games can get penciled in. They put some more on yesterday or day before. They then put these 18th, 19th and 18th and 19th they went in. So yeah, I think that's it. So you can see there that Leicester play 4 times. So if you still have got Salah, he's obviously not playing for those remaining 2 games. So going down to a Leicester players, 4 games you'll get in there. Especially if you captain him on one day, that's then basically 5 games, isn't it? So 5 for nothing. So I don't think you can really turn your nose up at something like that. If you haven't got, like I said, West Ham would give you a good captain on a Wednesday the 12th. They then play Leeds. I know they then play Manchester United, but they're not as tough as it used to be, is it? So you could move a West Ham player in still. You might, like I said, you might even want a West Ham player as a captain on Sunday the 16th. Watford as well, they play Norwich on the single game day, so if you want to move Salah on to Dennis or King or someone like that, again that'll give you the captaincy and another couple of games, so 4 for nothing really. That's it. Have a look yourself at these. Go to FF Stuff's site and then sort of plot out what you can do, what captain you can have each day. How the fixtures have fell for me, I'm pretty covered really. I'll probably make the Salah to a Leicester player move to give me a captaincy, and the extra games should help boost you up before overhaul. The only I find the only problem after the overhaul is everyone then sort of basically picks the same side. So whereas I've been sort of making ground up the last few weeks, gets to then the overhaul and then you get stuck again because everyone's got the same players. So you could make a few moves now to get the extra games to make a bit of a jump before the overhaul. That's an option. Just have a look at the transfers in. So this is since the 30th of December, over the last 7 days. So Jota into over 13,000 teams. Obviously with Salah, Mane away. I think that pretty much guarantees his game time. How effective they'll be without Salah and Mane, I don't know. But Jota's the most in, 13,000 teams. Ronaldo then, 9,300. Son into over 9,000. Jared Bowen into 6,000. And Antonio into 5,300. So Bowen, Antonio they're going to come in handy now that they've got a single game day. Couldn't see, not been, welcome to go to FF Stuff site and go through this yourself. Don't read out all 20 names there. I spotted down there Calvert-Lewin into over 2,300 teams. Really unlucky that. Don't think it was a bad move because, the Leicester Everton game I think was already penciled in, so if you didn't have a captain for that night, that made sense to bring him in, and then that would have given you a captaincy. That's just your luck in it. You bring him in. He was only in 3 of the top 1,000 teams on Sunday morning, and he finished up, well, when I checked Monday, he was in 95 teams. Been brought into over 2,000 teams, so a lot of people had the same plan. It's just typical that he misses a pen and finishes on -1. -2 if you captain him, but not a bad move. Good, because you look at the fixtures, it makes sense. Just bad luck. What can you do against that? He gets a pen, and I'm sort of thinking, that would have been a nice move to make, and just typical, isn't it? But he still could come good. They've got a couple of good games, so it's just annoying, isn't it? I know he had been out for 4 months, and Everton are pretty terrible, but he scores that penalty and you're flying. That's it really. Right, let's go to the outs. Salah at 31,000 teams, obviously off to AFCON. I hope most people who watch this didn't take him out before Sunday, but I did on the fantasy, the Sky app, they flagged him up Sunday morning as that he was already gone when he, and I then saw on Twitter a lot of people complaining that they'd seen that on the app, took him out, but I think most of us knew he was going to play that game, so hopefully he didn't get caught out. But Salah out of 30,000 teams. Reece James obviously out for a long time out of 16,000 teams. Mendy off to AFCON out of 14,000 teams. Vardy injured out of 11,000 teams. And Conor Gallagher out of 7,000 teams. Had COVID, missed a game. I think he just missed one, might have been two. I can't remember now. But with Brighton Palace coming up, I thought, well, I'll take the hit on one or two games because I'm going to want someone for that game. I didn't have anyone else, so I just held him. So, you know, hopefully the people that took him out have got a plan for that. Again, you can pause this, go through all these, don't read through all these, all 20 of the names there. So looking at the ownership, so obviously Salah with his 30,000 out isn't the top most owned anymore. It's Cancelo now, 97%. Ronaldo, 91%. Conor Gallagher, 89%, so he's still well owned. Rudiger, 78%, and Ruben Dias, 53%. Salah's dropped down to 52%. That will obviously drop further now. I don't think it makes sense to keep him in. I know it's 2 games he's going to miss, but when I said you can get 4 games for a Leicester player plus a captaincy or 2, I think it makes sense to move him on, really, because he's so much money. You can move to anyone, anyone you want. He's so much money, you can get to anyone else. So depending on how your team is, and that's it. Bowen, 50%. So that talking about that single West Ham game. If you don't have Bowen, and he does score or do well, you're going to be dropping a fair bit. Just have a look down the list. Dennis of Watford, he's in 27%. I think he's staying, although he did get taken off at half time the last game. I don't know if there's a bit of unrest there, so I don't know. Hopefully, I've got him, so I'm hoping he's going to play for that Norwich-Watford game. Even if it's just 2 points, it's a 4-point captaincy, that'll do. That's it really for the ownership. We've gone through the FF stuff grid. Again, have a look at this. Plan your moves till the overhaul now. What you want to do. Make sure you got a captain. And we'll get to some questions. Right, just going to read these off the phone. So, SkyFF Bruno. Which Leicester or Everton player are you looking to sell Salah for? And would you move someone onto Dennis/King as well for 2 transfers used with just below 20 left currently? Thinking Gallagher. So, yeah, Gallagher would make sense. I'll just get the FF grid up. So, see where are we there? So Palace play Brighton on the 14th. If you take Gallagher out then for, say, a Watford player, so you're only going to miss Gallagher against Liverpool, tough game, but then you'll get the 3 Watford games plus a captaincy. So yeah, that would work team depending on your team. And the Leicester player, I could go through them now actually, bear with me. So a lot of people are saying Maddison or Tielemans, so just going through them too. So Maddison's got 97 points. Tielemans got 88. Maddison scored 5 goals, so has Tielemans. Maddison's got 5 assists. Tielemans has only got 2. Both got 3 Man of the Match awards. Tielemans has made pass and bonus tier 1 twice. Maddison none. I thought Tielemans was higher than that, to be honest, but he's only done it twice. Shots bonus tier 1. Maddison's done it 5 times. Tielemans done it twice. Tielemans has made pass and bonus tier 2 once. Yeah. Maddison obviously none. Tackle bonus, Tielemans has made that a couple of times. So yeah, there's not really a lot in it. 97 points to Maddison to 88 Tielemans. I think most people will go for Tielemans. Again, I thought he'd hit passing tiers more. So when you look at that, like Maddison's more explosive. I think he's more likely to get you a goal or 2 in a game and Man of the Match and shots bonus, something like that. Whereas Tielemans, I thought he would tick over more, but I don't looking at the passing bonus. That's not guaranteed. So either or really depends how you feel. Like I said, I think Tielemans will be more highly owned. So I think that would be safer. But Maddison, I think that is tricky. But Maddison, I do think he's got potential to get a sort of 20-pointer in or something like that. Other ones was Harvey Barnes. He's got 55 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. He's got shot tier 1 twice. Yeah, but the only problem with Leicester is Vardy's injured, Iheanacho's away, Daka's away, and I think there's only less than a handful of defenders that are actually fit. So that's my only problem with Leicester. If Vardy's away, does that mean Tielemans is on penalties? All this. I don't know. And Leicester have been a bit of hit and miss, but with 4 fixtures, I think you have got to go for someone. But with Tielemans or Maddison, that's for you to decide, really. I haven't made my mind up yet. I'm now recording this on the Friday morning, so I've got a few days to think about it as yet. Again, as always, keep an eye on COVID, injury news, stuff like that. But tricky one. I'll maybe put a poll out who you're going to have, Maddison or Tielemans, because I think that is going to split quite a lot of people. Right. Hacking. Thanks again, Hack. He sends a question every week, so thanks for your support. Do I try and target any of these single game days that are coming up with Everton and others, or just don't bother wasting any transfers? He's got 22 left. 22 is great. I think you could use one or two. I think that, take you to 20 till the overhaul. I think that'd be great. Everton, like looking at the grid here, so against Leicester, they do have Norwich and Villa, so they are good games. That could, if you don't want to have a Leicester player as captain, Calvert-Lewin, but I don't know. I think Leicester makes sense to me with 4 games. Just playing the numbers, it just gives you more chance to get points, doesn't it? So I do think Leicester. And Watford, I've got Dennis. I'm just hoping he starts. King probably is safer. I just don't think I'd have anyone else from Watford. No one else really appeals. I don't want a defender. I don't think any mids really are that exciting. So I think I would just go for goals and King or Dennis. FPL Sky Addicts. Do I think any more games are going to get rescheduled to the ones that are announced by BT on the 18th and 19th? I don't think so. No fixture expert, but I don't think anything else can go in there. I think what I've got on screen here is what is going to be, but I say we'll keep an eye on it. But I think that is it now. Gordon Bell. Is Kieran Trippier a player you would interest you at overhaul? Almost certain to be on Newcastle set pieces. Depends how much he is, whether Sky can be bothered to tell us or not. I'm hoping this sort of be 7.6, 7.8, 7.9, something like that. Might make him tempting. Newcastle are second bottom though. I was looking at Trippier before, actually. Bear with me. So, yeah, Trippier, he's 31. He's played 12 games this season. I just got this off Who Scored. I'm no expert on Spanish football or anything like that. So he's played 12 games, no goals, no assists. Last season, he got 6 assists. So it's all right. But, I don't know, he's Newcastle. He should, I think if he's going to play well, he's likely to get a man of the match or something like that. And if they keep a clean sheet and he does get an assist or something like that. Really depends on the price. If they got to make him a tempting price for you to want to have him, really, when you think of Laporte 9.1 and there is some good options at a good price. So if I'm going to have a Newcastle defender, he's either going to have like a single game day or be a tempting price, really. So, but you got if he goes straight in, you got a couple of games to see how he does. But obviously, I wouldn't bring him in before overhaul. But we'll see how he does in a couple of games and maybe an option. But I say it depends on his price. Luke, preferred overhaul team structure. Every time he makes a draft, it seems to be a 5-3-2. I'm just getting through these till the overhaul first. So much stuff can happen, with signings and stuff like that. Really could change everything. But and depends on the fixtures that come out on single game days. But yeah, probably would make sense to be a 5-3-2. But we'll look at that more as we get to the overhaul. We'll do a special then. Kitby wants to remove Salah for a Spurs or Leicester player. Can be any position. Who would you go for? Maddison or Tielemans, I think, are the main ones. Matt Woolley brought Fred into one side and Dalot into the other. Should I stick until overhaul, or with slim pickings go to a Norwich player to cover 2 captaincies? Cool, I wouldn't do Norwich, mate. Really wouldn't do Norwich player. Like I said before, like a Leicester or a Watford. If you haven't got a West Ham player, that's a good captaincy against Norwich. I just don't think you want a Norwich player for the singles, like to captain a Norwich player against West Ham or Watford. I can't see it. Norwich, we ain't scoring any goals. We letting loads in. Not for me. And is it worth bringing in midfielder who might make passing or tackles? Not for Norwich, mate. I'd give him a swerve. FF Thinker, best Leicester asset for a Salah replacement. All positions on the table. Like I said, all the defenders are injured. I think all the strikers are injured or away. Maddison, Tielemans, or at stretch Barnes, I think, for me. Connor, what price do you think Coutinho will be if he makes the move to the Premier League? So he's in at Villa. Unbelievable, really. I don't know. Again, he needs to be tempting. A tempting price. So what is he? He's 29. This is just, again, off Who Scored. So he's played 12 games, got 2 goals this season. I think he only plays sort of about 60 minutes or something like that. He's don't know how, if he'll make a 90-minute game, really don't know. Last season he got 12 He played 12 games, got 2 goals, one assist, 2 assists. Season before was better, 23 games, 8 goals, 6 assists. That was Bayern when he was on loan. I had him in my Sky Team Winner 1. He was fantastic that season in 16-17, 31 games, got 13 goals, 7 assists. Probably got about 13 Man of the Match awards. He was unreal. Again, so what have Villa got? Only got 2 games, Manchester United and Everton. So see how he fits in. Again, if they got a single game day, he does well. He's like to get Man of the Match or something like that. But again, the price needs to be good to, you think about Gallagher and the midfield options we've got. I don't think for me. I don't think him or Trippier for me, but we'll have to see. Flower Pot Man. So he hasn't got anyone for the 2 Friday fixtures. He's planning on going without any players on both days. He's in the mindset of just waiting now until the overhaul, given the COVID isn't going anywhere, and he thinks there'll be bigger gains to be made towards the back end of the season. My thoughts. I don't think you'd bring a Palace player in just for that. Then they have got Liverpool. Brighton have got 3 games, but again, then they've got Chelsea as one of those. So if you haven't got anyone for that now, I probably would skip that one. But Watford makes sense to me. If you can get to Watford on the Saturday off someone and get the 3 games and a captaincy, I think do that. And I said, I do think Leicester with just 4 games, it just seems too good to pass up on, really. Then Flower Pot Man asks, have we had the remaining transfers? No. Did tweet Sky the other day. Honestly, I think they're pretty useless on the Twitter. They do annoy me. Such a great game, and it's just the Twitter's just. They might as well delete the account. It's just pointless. So they're now saying, it's not something we do every week, and we're not. They're doing as and when. It's not that hard. You get the stats off GFM. Like they send you an email. It's just to whack them on a little graphic and put it up. It's not hard, is it? But so I don't know. The last ones we had was on the 30th of December. So that was top 10 was 15.6, top 100 was 18.1, top 1,000 was 18.9, and the top 5,000 was 17.6. So that was, before the new year. So I'd imagine that will go down now, especially when you see Salah's out of so many and people have still got him that he needs to come out. So I think they'll be down a good 1.5 each, something like that. That was it really for the questions. I did notice, a couple of players have been added so far. Still waiting on Coutinho and Trippier to get a price for them. But they added the 2 Everton lads. No pronunciation expert. Markolenko, 7.6. And Patterson, 7.5. Both defenders. Everton for me, I don't think so. Not for me. They added Phil Jones before the Wolves game. 6.6 million. Thought he was going to be on for a Man of the Match and a clean sheet, but so he's been added. My team, I'm 632nd now. Got 21 transfers left. Got 1,745 points. 100th place is 1,820 points. So I'm 70 points off being in the top 100. I've got a few, I'd like to say, I think I've got 3 or 4 transfers on hand on the average top 100 team. So whether I can make them sort of 4 transfers up to 75 points to get in there, I still think I can get top 100 now. We just had to see how it goes. But there will be a bit of hopefully make a little bit of gain over the next couple of weeks before the overhaul. And like I said, I think after the overhaul it'll be a bit stagnant because everyone will have the same sort of team to begin with until we then people can start using the transfers they got to try and make some gains. And that was it really. That again, keep an eye on the COVID news. I hope we've sort of had the spell of postponements and that's going to be it for now. Because that really don't help trying to make plans and everything like that. So hopefully the fixtures that we've got on will be what gets played and there won't be anything else. But that's it now. I think we'll get to the overhaul. Like I said, if you make a planned move for Leicester or Watford, something like that makes sense. But otherwise, I think just hold them now. And I think there is more gains to be made after the overhaul with the exception of the Leicester. So again, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Like I said at the start, if you can, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, give us a like and a rating. Really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in and be back next week with something. So thanks again.